All right, find the missing side. So on this, you are going to have the perimeter and the length of either the width or the length, and you're going to have to determine what the missing side is. So let's look at this one, for example. They tell us that the perimeter is 34 feet. They tell us that one side is 8 feet, and they don't tell us the distance of the other side. So you're going to take note of the things that you know. You know your perimeter is 34 feet. We're going to say that this side is our length. So we know our length is 8 feet. And we don't know the width. That's what we're trying to find. So this is where writing your formula is going to be very helpful for you, because it's going to help you set up your problem to find the missing side. So we know our perimeter is 34 feet, and it's perimeter, so we're going to use our perimeter formula. This is a rectangle. What's the formula to find the perimeter of a rectangle? Who knows?
Length plus width plus width.
Length plus width plus length plus width. Or you can use the 2 times length plus 2 times width. Both formulas work. And then what you do is you substitute in the things that you know. We don't know our width, so I'm not going to be able to substitute in anything for width. I'm just going to have to leave that as W. I know my length is 8, so anywhere I have an L, I can put an 8. And my perimeter is 34, so anywhere I have P, I can put 34. So instead of P equals, I'm going to write 34 equals. And then I know my length is 8, so where I have the L's, I'm going to substitute in an 8. And I don't know my width, so I'm not going to put a question mark. I'm just going to leave it as W. So now instead of P equals L plus W plus L plus W, I substituted in the things that I know. I substituted in 34 for perimeter and 8 for my length. So now I have 34 is equal to 8 plus W plus 8 plus W. Remember, W stands for width? Good. So let's put together the things I know. So I know that 8 plus 8 is what? And I know my perimeter is still 34. And I don't know the width, but I can put that down like that. Now think back to what we talked about last week. If I have 2 parts and I put those 2 parts together, it gives me the whole thing, right? Part plus part equals whole. Very good. So whole minus part is equal to the missing part. So if you will use that, you can solve this equation. So I can think 16 is a part and my 2 W's are a part. Part plus part makes whole. But if I have this part and the whole thing, I can subtract to find what my missing part is. So what should I subtract?
16 minus 34.
Well, I want to do 34 minus 16. When I subtract, I always subtract going down. If I have 4, can you take away 6? No, it's 6 is too big. Very good. We're going to borrow. The 3 is going to become? And the 4 is going to become? Good. And then we're going to do 14 minus 6 is, and 2 minus 1 is, so now I have that 18 is equal to W plus W. What can you tell me about these 2 W's compared to each other?
Since there's 2 and they equal 1 whole,
They're each half. Each W is the same as the other W, right? Those W's are exactly the same. So I can take this 18 and divide it by 2. I'm going to divide it by 2 because there's 2 W's. And what is 18 divided by 2? 18 divided by 2 is 9. So my width is equal to 9. And it would be 9 what? 9 feet. Only area is squared, so your width would not be squared. Okay? How do y'all feel about that? Let's go ahead and do one on the area page real quick. Remember, area is equal to length times width. We will do one more example together too after these, but I want to go ahead and give you one more because it's almost lunchtime. Bless you. So we have our length is 4 and we don't know our width. So write down the formula They found area is equal to 32 square feet. So we need the area formula. What's our area formula? And then substitute in the things that you know. Do we know area? What's area? 32. Good. So where I have an A, I'm going to put in 32. And do I know my length? What's my length? 4. And do I know my width? No, I don't. That's what I'm solving for. So I know 32 is equal to 4 times my width. Well, you guys that know your multiplication facts probably already know the answer. What's our width? 8. What did you do to get that? You can think 4 times what makes 32, or you can say 32, very good, 32 divided by 4 is equal to our width. And what is 32 divided by 4?
8.
So my width is equal to 8, and it would be 8 what? Feet. Only area is squared. Nope, just feet. Only area is squared. All right, let's go back to perimeter. Let's look at this problem here. We are missing the length this time, and we have the width is equal to 15 feet. And you can switch these. It doesn't matter if you make this one the width and this one the length. And we know our perimeter is 14 feet. So we're going to write down the formula. Since they give us the perimeter, we're going to use the perimeter formula to find the missing side, which is our length. If we used the area formula, it wouldn't work because they didn't give us the area. So we couldn't use the area formula to find the missing side on this paper. We want to use the perimeter formula since they give us the perimeter. We're going to substitute in the things that we know. Perimeter is 42, so instead of a P, I'm going to write 42. And then I'm going to use the rest of the formula and the things that I know to find the missing things. The length is the missing thing, so I'm going to leave it as an L. The width is 15, so I'm going to substitute in 15 for width. Again, I don't know my length, and my width is 15. So now I have 42 equals L plus 15 plus L plus 15, where L is my length. I'm going to work out the parts that I know. I can put my 15s together. So 42 is equal to length plus 30. And the 30 came from 15 plus 15. So now I can think part, whole. So the whole amount is the 42. One part is my lengths put together, and my other part is my widths put together. So length plus length is one part, and width plus width, 15 plus 15 is 30. 30 is my other part. And remember, if I have the whole and a part, I can subtract to find the missing part. So I can do 42 minus 30. Always subtract going down. 2 minus 0 is 2. 4 minus 3 is 1. So now I know that my other part, this is my other part all together, is equal to 12. So I know that both of the lengths, when you put them together, they're equal to 12. To figure out what one length is, I can divide by 2 because I have 2 of the exact same things, and when I put them together, I get 12. So to find out what one would be, I'm going to divide by 2 because there's 2 equal parts and they are the same amount, so I can divide by 2 to figure out what half of 12 would be. 12 divided by 2 is 6. So now I know that my length is equal to 6, and it's feet. Length is just the unit, only area is squared. So now we have used the perimeter and the width to find the length. We're going to switch back over to the area paper and work another example there. So we're going to use this one as the length and this one as the width, and then they give us the area, just like we did on this first example. So this time I don't know my length, but I know my width. And since they give us the area, the formula that we should use to find the length is the area formula. And the formula for the area of a rectangle is area equals length times width. It wouldn't do me any good to use the perimeter formula on this one because they didn't give me the perimeter. So I wouldn't be able to substitute in enough stuff. I'd have my perimeter missing and my length missing. This way I only have the length missing because I know the area is 45. So where I have the A, I'm going to put in a 45. I don't know my length, so I'm going to leave it as L. and then my width is 9. So now I know that 45 is equal to L times 9. Well, I can use the opposite of multiplication to solve for my missing part here. So 45 is equal to something times 9. Well, the opposite of something times 9 would be to divide the product by 9. So I can do 45 divided by 9 to find L. And 45 divided by 9 is 5. So now I know that my length is equal to 5. And length is just the unit. So it would be 5 feet. Only area is squared. Area is the only thing that gets squared, but the length and the width are not squared. So my length would be 5 feet. I hope that helps. Use these examples to work the rest of the questions on these worksheets. Thank you.